Pearl warped back, nearly jumping when Stephen desperately ran towards her. "Have you seen her yet?" he pleaded. Pearl shook her head. "I'm sorry, Stephen, but I have no idea where she could be." Stephen's hope dropped and he sniffled. "But she's never been gone for days." "I know," said Pearl sympathetically. "I'm sure she'll be back soon. We just have to wait a bit longer." "But who's gonna hug and kiss me goodnight?" Stephen whined. "Doesn't she know I miss her?" Garnet walked up through the door, MFS trailing from behind. "Still no sign of her?" "No," Pearl replied sadly. "Aw, man," MFS rolled her eyes. "She's still not over that. What's been bothering her about?" Stephen sniffled and his eyes willed with thick tears. I don't understand. She'd leave us like that. I don't know what we did." He covered his face as he wept. The four of them stood in the living room, Stephen still crying quietly. "Who wants to go on a road trip?" Greg barged in through the door, stopping to see his balcony, his sun, and his crystal gems. Greg stepped back. "Is it a bad time?" "No, I just haven't found Spinel yet," Pearl confessed, rubbing her arm. The man's eyes stretched wide. "In 2 whole days? You'd think she'd be back by now." "Yeah," Stephen mumbled, wiping a tear from his eye. Greg picked him up in his arms. "Well, hey, skitchu ball. Oh, she'll come back soon. Always have, right?" Stephen slowly nodded. "And what about this road trip?" Garnet asked. "Oh yeah," Greg turned to face her. "I gotta drive to State Keystone. I meet up with some guy on an internet message saying a board who's selling these car wash brushes for real cheap. I gotta meet him in Keystone to pick them up." Stephen cringed. "I don't like those brushes. They feel weird on your fur." "Well, do like motels?" "What's a motel?" "A motel's sort of like a hotel, but it'll have a pool, free ice, not to mention that the one's next to the best diner in the world." "You two have fun with that," said Garnet. "Pearl, Amethyst, and I will keep looking for Spinel. We'll have a better chance of finding her." "Free hands are better than one," Amethyst agreed. Pearl nodded, straining a smile. "Yeah, that probably sounds best. So, see you later, you two." "Please find Spinel," Stephen pleaded. "I can't stand her being gone." Greg tried to smile. "Yeah, good luck." Stephen remained curled up in the bed, even though he was tired from a few long-hour trip to the motel. He could not get Spinel out of his mind. "Hey, Stephen," Greg walked into the room holding a pizza. "We got pizza." The boy meekly woke up, and his father knew something was wrong. He placed the box on the bed and sat down next to Stephen, rubbing his shoulder. "Hey, something on your mind?" "It's just, Spinel left without telling me. She's never done this before. She never left without telling us or be silent for no reason. Did I do something wrong? Did the gems do something? I don't know. I just don't know why she's so mad. I miss her." "Oh, situ ball." Oh, Greg, look at the words to say. "Sometimes people just need alone time. Heck, I even had moments when I just want to leave the house when I was angry with my parents. Trust me, Stephen. Spinel will come back and everything will be fine." Stephen lifted his head, his eyes glaring at the light, slowly nodded. "All right." Greg grabbed the pizza box and opened up, revealed the food. "Square pizza, weird, eh?" Greg chuckled. Stephen even took one silence, taking a bite. "Yep, sure is." The next morning, Amethyst laid down on the couch eating a bag of chips. Apparently, she had given up on trying to look for her missing teammate. Suddenly, she heard the warp activating, expecting Pearl, Garnet, or both to appear, but only a familiar pink Piquel gem to be in the place. Spinel let outside, as she finally had left somewhere to go, opened her eyes and seeing her teammate on the couch. Amethyst dropped her bag. Spinel's pigtails dropped from behind her. "Amethyst, I'm Spinny!" The purple gem screamed excitedly as she leapt towards the pink gem, landing on the ground with a oomph. Amethyst began to cry on how much she missed Spinel while the pink gem was trying to escape from the grip, trying to apologize through the other gem's tears and shouting. Sometime later, "So you just have found some private place because you were just frustrated about what was happening?" "Yes." Amethyst took another chip and ate it. "Man, 2 days and a half. That's very long for you." "I know." Spinel sipped her chamomile tea. They then heard a loud gasp. Amethyst and Spinel turned to the door, and then there was Stephen. Stood, eyes wide in his shock and arms shaking, staring directly at the pink gem. Greg came from behind, also letting out a gasp. Spinel! Stephen Finn wailed as he ran towards her. Instantly, Spinel fell to her knees and embraced the young crying boy. Stephen nuzzling onto her shoulder. Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry for leaving. Geez Louise, where have you been? Greg asked, awkwardly scratching the back of his head. Spinel didn't respond, only continuing to hug the poor kid. Amethyst also heard the warp pack activate, and this time, it was Pearl and Garnet who looked and they saw Spinel hugging Stephen. Spinel, Pearl shouted, then rushing over to the pink gem, her voice almost shaking from the shock. Where have you been? We've been looking for you. Spinel's face dropped in deadpan. Nowhere special, really. Spinel and Stephen were dozing on the couch with the boy nuzzling closer to the gem. Unfortunately, they were woken as the three of her gems warped back. I knew it. I told you we would have fought Spinel now with us, Pearl shouted at Garnet. She would have got a hold of Peridot. Garnet just turned her head. Stephen's just one to keep her here. Amethyst shrugged. Can you really blame him? Pearl exhaled a tired breath. Well, I'll go look to where Peridot's location is in time. She walked over to the pod and fixed and stuck an hand into the screen. Her eyes became static. Spinel then stood up from the couch with the boy wrapped on his arms and kept her around his shoulders and around her sides. Pearl removed her hand and hologram of the green gem's location. She's using the warps to get here. We have our target. Garnet nodded. And this time, Spinel will come with us. No, Stephen protested, snuggling into Spinel's chest. I don't ever want her to leave again. Never, never, never. Spinel sighed. All right, we'll both go. But just stay close. I will. As they warped back to the abandoned ship, Stephen asked, Whoa, what is that? Pearl picked up another hologram showing the ships. Excellent question. What we've seen before is an ancient interplanetary gem vessel. A world gems used these ships to travel across the cosmos and landed here on Earth because before the warp pads were built. These were the ships that landed here a long time ago. There was no way they could be functional. Peridot's out of options. Isn't that right, Spinel? Pearl wrapped a friendly arm around her partner's shoulder. However, Spinel didn't look at her. Yeah. Slightly surprised by the gem's response, Pearl brushed it off. All right, let's go get Peridot. She and the others began to head towards the ship. Stephen even curiously looked up at her. Are you okay? Spinel was quiet for a few seconds before smiling at him. I'm fine. Inside the ship, plants had begun to overgrown under the foot on the wall as the crystal gems walked over to a control panel, commenting on how it looked more like a jungle until a screen with Peridot's face was shown. You gems are all dull as dirt, Peridot mocked. Pearl then sneered. If you think you can get away from us, you're the dull one. Peridot squinted her eyes. Can you speak louder? Some of these communications are all gunked up. Groaning, Spinel grabbed the mic and yelled, She said that you're not getting away with it, you little gremlin. Peridot and then everyone else was taken back from the harshness of her voice, but Peridot brushed it aside. Get away? Ha! I'm not even using this to get away. I'm using this to trap you. Immediately the door behind them slammed shut and closed off their exit. This isn't so nice. No more crystal gems running around, messing with my plans and destroying things. Looks like I've got you just where I want you. How does it feel to be so easily outsmarted, did you calls? Of course, Amethyst took the microphone. Yeah, this is Amethyst. Doesn't it appreciate being called a cloud, you jerk? Enough talk, Peridot cut her off. Prepare yourself for annihilation. She pressed the button. The gems breathed themselves and looked only for nothing. Peridot grumbled and pressed on another button. Activating the ship's demise systems, fired off all lasers and bounced off everywhere. The gems avoided the beams as the green gem was replaced with the word die. Hey guys, over here, Stephen said as he pulled up another shield and the gems stuck underneath it, protected from the lasers. Garnet noticed another open door. This way. The gems all nodded and ran towards the doorway, under Stephen's shield. When they made it to safety, Stephen's shield dissipated, and Spinel caught him when he collapsed. Stephen, Spinel spoke in concern. Are you okay? Stephen nodded. Just a spike emerged from him. Spinel backed away with Stephen in her arms. before another one poked out. The gems yelled in a panic and ran down the hall, avoiding the spikes and hearing Peridot mocking them until they saw them down the hall. We've got you surrounded, Peridot, yelled Pearl. Spinel narrowed her eyes. Wait, Pearl, that's a hologram. I don't see a shadow. Of course, Peridot grinned. Looks like one of you guys have a good eye, but none of you guys have a good footing. Then the ground beneath the crystal gems became funnel, and they all screamed as they fell, with Spinel accidentally letting go of the boy. Thankfully, Amethyst and Garnet grabbed onto the wall, and Amethyst wrapped her whip around Stephen, narrowly missing Spinel as she and Pearl fell into the chamber. Pearl, Spinel, are you two okay? Garnet shouted from above. We are. I just got the... Spinel responded. She stretched her arms, but the floor closed itself as the two gems, gasping. Garnet, Amethyst, and Stephen landed on each other on another floor above the chamber. They saw free gears above them as it showed Pearl and Spinel frantically attacking the walls. No, Spinel! Stephen ran up to the screen, banging his fist on it. We've got to get them out of here, Garnet ordered, pausing them with every feared conversation, noticing that the two have stopped. Pearl had begun. Spinel, what's going on with you? You have been distant. You left us for 2 days and a half straight without telling Stephen or what happened? You happened, Spinel shot back, whipping her hand towards her range eyes. I saw you fixing the hub, so you could just fuse with Garnet. Garnet, Amethyst, and Stephen gasped. Pearl's eyes widened. You knew? But why? The walls began to close in and the gears outside rotating. If you didn't know... No, you didn't tell Garnet, Pearl screamed, of course back against the wall. Spinel did the same thing. I would have. I just didn't want us to break apart. I now know how everyone's stressed out about the homeworlds coming back to try to harm the Earth. You know, I think I would just start up drama now. The walls then slowed up half a bit until Pearl and Spinel were about inches away from each other, blue eyes gazing into the pink eyes. Pearl, believe me, I wasn't happy with you. I wanted to tell anyone what you did, but what would us splitting up resolve? I know I'm doing the wrong thing, but I care about you, Pearl. You're my very best friend. What is that? You mean that? I do. Spinel. The walls began to close again. The gems accepted their fate and gave each other one last hug, but then the walls drifted away, and the floor above them opened. You two! Out now! Garnet's booming voice made them down coward, but nonetheless they hopped out. Pearl and Spinel now shivered as Garnet glared them through the visors, while Stephen and Amethyst clung on to each other in fear. Watching the argument go down from the cameras, Peridot snickered to herself. Time to make my escape. She then flew out of the ship, and her rapidly rotating fingers escaping the gems once again.